Hey everybody, and welcome to Rocco Baby Crochet. I hope you're all well and having a great week. This is a really quick stitch tutorial and we're going to learn the lovely Suzette Stitch. This is a beautiful stitch to use for blankets. It's a reversible stitch, so it's the same on both sides and it's a lovely texture. This is a very beginner friendly stitch. It's only a 1 row repeat, and the 2 main stitches that you are going to be using throughout this pattern is a double crochet and a treble crochet. Please remember that I use UK terminology, so I'll put the US equivalents up on the screen for you now. If you do enjoy these tutorials and my pattern releases, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. It means that you won't miss out on my next free release, and also you're helping me. I've got a little mission this year. I want to get to 10,000 subscribers in the next 12 months. So if you could help me achieve that goal, I would really appreciate it. All that you're going to need for this tutorial is your chosen yarn and the recommended hook for that yarn. So grab your yarn, grab your hook, grab a cover, and let's learn this beautiful stitch together. To begin, you'll need to make a slip knot in your preferred method and pop that onto your hook. The foundation chain for this stitch is any odd number of chains. So you're going to yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through until you get to the width of your project that you want, making sure that the number of chains that you've got is an odd number. I'm going to chain 19 here just for a quick sample. If you want to press pause until you've got your foundation chain to the width that you want it to be at, and then come back to me and we'll move up to row 1 together. I've just finished my foundation chain for this sample. I ended up chaining 21, but as long as it's an odd number, it'll work for this stitch. And what we want to do is we're going to start in the second chain from the hook. Remembering this on our hook doesn't count as a stitch. You're counting back these V's and it's into this second one here that you're going to place your first stitch. It's completely up to you whether you work into the front of your stitches or if you prefer, like me, to work into the back bumps of each chain. Whichever method you prefer is fine. So into that second chain from hook, what you want to do is place a double crochet. And then we're going to go back into that chain and place a treble crochet. Don't forget that I use UK terminology. I'll pop the US equivalents on the screen for you. Next, we're going to skip a chain, and into the next chain along, we're going to place that combination again of 1 double crochet and 1 treble crochet into that chain. We're going to repeat that pattern all the way across. So I'm going to skip my next chain and then work a double crochet and a treble crochet into my next chain along. Skip a chain and then into the next chain along, place 1 double crochet and 1 treble crochet. Skip a chain and into the next chain, place 1 double crochet and 1 treble crochet into that same chain space. And if you'd like to press pause whilst you work your way across your foundation chain, you'll just repeat that stitch pattern all the way across. Come back to me when you're just about to finish up row 1. We'll finish the row together and move up to row 2. I'm coming towards the end of row 1. I've got 3 chains left to work into. So here I've got my last work double and treble into that chain. So I'll skip the next chain, into the next chain along, place a double crochet and a treble crochet, which should leave you, if your stitch count is correct, you should have 1 chain remaining. Into that very last chain, you're just going to place a double crochet. And at the end of row 1, you should be looking a little bit like this. To move up to row 2, we'll chain 1 and turn our work. This stitch is a 1 row repeat, so row 2 is the row that we're going to be repeating over and over and over until your project reaches the height that you want it to be at. So into this first double crochet here, where our chain 1 is coming out of, is where we're going to place our first stitch. And into that double crochet, we're going to place a double crochet, and then we're going to go back in and place a treble crochet. Next, what we're going to do is skip a stitch, which is the treble from row 1, and work into the next stitch along, which is the double crochet from row 1. And into that again, we're going to work a double crochet and also a treble crochet. Next, we'll skip a stitch, and into the next stitch along, place a double crochet and a treble crochet. So we're always placing this combination of a double and a treble into the double crochet from the row below. So I'll skip a stitch and work into my next stitch. Now if you do need a little bit of help in how to make a double or a treble crochet, I'll link my tutorials to those videos in the description to this video. But this is a wonderful stitch. It makes a nice reversible pattern, and it's very beginner friendly as well. So next I'm going to skip a stitch, work into my next one, placing a double and a treble. Skip a stitch, and into my next stitch, place my double and a treble, skip a stitch, and then place a double crochet and 1 treble crochet into the very next stitch. Skip a stitch, and then into my next stitch along, place 1 double crochet and 1 treble. So this brings me to the end of my row, because I've only done a very small sample here to show you. I've got my treble here from row 1 and then the double crochet. It's sometimes easy to see the top of these stitches if you turn your work towards you a little bit, and you can then easily see the top of these stitches, which are the 2 V's here and here. So into this last one, I'm just going to place 1 double crochet on its own. Then I'll chain 1, turn my work, and I'll continue to work row 2 over and over until my project is at the height that I want it to be at. So I hope you enjoyed this really quick stitch tutorial. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have, meaning that you won't miss out on my next free pattern or tutorial, and it also supports Rocco Baby Crochet as well. I'm really trying to get to the 10,000 subscriber mark, so I'd really appreciate it if you could help me on that journey. So take care, and I'll see you real soon. Bye!